Welcome everybody, my name is Doragon and this is going to be a video on the seasonal story for Season of the Seraph. There's going to be two parts. It's nothing in depth, we're not going over the lore, we're not looking into the bits behind the story. This is just the on-screen stuff that happened during Season of the Seraph, from the very first cutscene to the very end, mission cutscenes and everything in between. There's going to be no commentary throughout it, it's just going to be gameplay, so enjoy the content, enjoy the archive, and I'll see you later on.
Rasputin, the War Mind. The most powerful artificial intelligence humanity ever created. With an arsenal to match. Thousands of war sets, primed to obliterate any and all threats to humanity. But when the greatest threat of all arrived, it nearly tore Rasputin apart. I saved the pieces of him that I could, encrypted them in a specialized engram. I've been trying to restore him in an experimental exoframe, but every attempt I've made has failed. Until he's back online, all of his weaponry is up for grabs. And it's only a matter of time before his warsats fall into the wrong hands.
Savathun couldn't conceal every thought. Some I stole. One of Neptune. The collapse. A turning point. It's a blur. I cannot focus.
Pass me the wrench?
The Hidden found nothing there, but I saw it. Through the Witch Queen's eyes. A city set against the waves.
Sounds like a trick.
Ikora thinks I need to rest. The gall. You've really made no progress while I was indisposed.
Is that why you're here, Osiris?
Ikora won't listen.
Wonder where she got that from. Red's scrambled in there. Degrading. He's dying.
The War Mind is our greatest bastion of Golden Age data. I need what it knows.
I've tried everything. I can't even access his protocols.
But perhaps your grandfather could.
Osiris? That man? No. Clovis Bray is a maniac. A selfish, murderous monster.
So was Rasputin. But it might be the only option I have left. Just as Clovis might be yours. When did hope cease to require risk?
Hey, Guardian. Thanks for tagging along. We're gonna go have a chat with Clovis about Rasputin. Osiris, say hi.
Young Wolf. Anna. Like old times.
Osiris, you seeing this? Perimeter defense is tripped. They've never done that. I don't think Clovis is trying to kill us, but...
Could be anything. We should keep our distance until the Guardian locks a transmat signal for us.
LZ's a little hot. Got you as close as I could without blowing us all up.
An outcome we all applaud. It appears your grandfather is under siege.
He elicits that sort of reaction.
If Clovis is in danger, so is our mission.
It's not right. The perimeter towers aren't accepting my credentials. Perimeter defense is zeroing in on you. Find some cover. I don't believe for a second House Salvation hacked Clovis's firewall. Maybe the Vex, but he'd implode the lab before suffering the indignity of losing it.
If that is even a remote possibility, we cannot miss our only chance at restoring the Warmind.
Yeah. I'll try to let him know we're coming so he doesn't do anything stupid.
A cryptolith? It cannot be.
Xivu Arath's been avoiding Europa. Why move into Aramis's territory now?
Root them out, Guardian. Leave only their ashes. The cryptolith recedes as its defenders wane. It must not be fully established.
Nice to have an easy solve. I still can't raise Clovis, but I've got the doors to the sublevels open.
Wrathborn made from House Salvation stock. A gruesome fate. If they knelt to the witness, this is a logical step.
I don't know.
Are Xivu and Aramis not allies working towards the same cause?
Of opportunity, maybe. Aramis doesn't strike me as the type to tolerate subjugation. That acolyte's glowing? Oh, please tell me that thing's not a bomb.
They've sighted you. Slay them all. The Hive's presence is an omen. There is more to this than we know.
I'm getting that feeling myself. You sound worried.
Even a single cryptolith provides Xivu Arath influence enough to worry. Don't wait long. Clovis may be in danger, and more tomb ships flood Europa's sky every second.
Then let's not give them any time to pin us down. What the hell? The lab's protocols are cannibalizing each other.
Cryptoliths incite conflict in mind and mechanism alike. Even the sturdiest blades eventually bend to Xivu Arath's will.
Wait, I think I found him. Hello?
Who is that? Anastasia?
The one and only.
Of course it's you. Remedy this immediately. We want minimal collateral.
Stop whining. The Guardian's already on your doorstep.
My security frames are overrun. Is this another example of your over-promise, under-deliver attitude?
Huh. None of that sounded like, Anna, please help me. I need you. They're killing me. Ow.
A simple yes would satisfy.
More cryptoliths.
They want my brain, Anastasia. The access it provides, the secrets I keep. They're trying to pry me open.
They don't just want his secrets. They want him. Brought to submit.
Someone's going to have to tell them that's company property. Guardian?
Finally. Now go reset creation security protocols. Return control to me.
There you are. Establishing transmat connection.
Gramps, let's skip the dancing and cut to the chase.
Anastasia, I'm pleasantly surprised to see you without your sister. What was it you said last time we spoke?
Pretty sure it was screw you.
Putting that linguistics degree to good use. Who is this?
I am Osiris, Phoenix of the Dark Age, and Scholar of the Cosmos. I have no equal.
Cute.
You impertinent son of a...
See? He's impossible. We'll find another way to help Rasputin.
Rasputin? The Warmind is operational? Fascinating.
His source code's corrupted. I don't know how to fix it, but you do.
Ugh. You were always too preoccupied teaching the Warmind to feel, to learn how it functioned.
What don't I know?
Simply everything, Anastasia. But yes, I will help you. Because you need it. And because no one else can.
How uncharacteristically altruistic of you.
My motive isn't complicated. It's exhausting to watch the grains of my legacy slip through my progeny's fingers.
Self-preservation. That is simple. Partition your AI protocols onto this. I'll link you into my workshop. Then we rebuild Rasputin.
Splendid. Once I am in control, all will be as it should be. The war mind will rise again.
Your grandfather is insufferable.
Told you. Let's get him back to the helm.
A crude, incomplete shell. Still, I must admit that its storage capacity vastly exceeds that of a standard exoframe. It will have to do for now. These Wrathborn present a far more pressing concern. If they can seize control of Warmind technology, then it stands to reason that the Warsats are their ultimate goal. We must secure the Warsat network ourselves before it's too late. Rebuilding the Warmind is now humanity's top priority. Rasputin was designed to partition itself into sub-minds as a resiliency measure. In the event of a catastrophic failure, reintegrating them into the AI core would repair the broken Warmind. Most of the facilities housing those sub-minds are now defunct. A scant few remain, but the Wrathborn have likely fortified their locations. Infiltrate said facilities. Retrieve the sub-mine data from the vaults within. With the sub-mines in hand, we can upload Rasputin to the Warsat network on board its orbital hub. I am aware that Anastasia does not hold a high opinion of me. But let it not be said that I left humanity to fend for itself.
My Corsairs whisper your name, Guardian. You have found yourself an adversary in Xivu Arath, and a cunning opportunist in Clovis. Yes, we are always watching. A protective eye to precede an assisting hand. I bring information. With Nezarec out of play, our enemies pursue a killing stroke. Aramis has yet to resurface, but in her absence, agents of Xivu Arath swarm Europa. House Salvation seems to be assisting them in despoiling Clovis Bray's installations. While I've yet to discern an exact strategy, Anna and I agree they may be trying to wrest control of the Warmind's power on the Witness's behalf. I fear they're forging inroads for an invasion. Xivu Arath's forces mobilize within the Ascendant Plane. My scouts report her hive prepare to assault the Warmind's bunker on the moon. The submine that rests there is in danger. Shape this knowledge into deathly intent for our enemies, and the Warmind may yet be restored.
Two submine cores in the bag, and launch pods scouted. So, we're making progress. Ikora officially wants us wrangling this situation. She'd like Osiris in a hands-off role, but he's watching Clovis like a judgmental hawk. It's kind of adorable, actually, and I'm here for it. We got lucky, touching down on Europa when we did. Rasputin could have predicted this, maybe even prevented it. If Xivu Arath acts on the Witness's orders and uses the Warsat network against us, it doesn't even need full power to cause an extinction-level event. We're making progress. Just keep saying it, Anna. Repeat it until it is real. You too, Guardian. We're gonna manifest this together.
Of course, Rasputin changed the launch codes. That blasted paranoid machine. I never understood Anastasia's obsession with teaching the war mind independent thought. That only made it more difficult to control. No matter. I will find the new launch codes eventually. But the station will prove useless if we do not rebuild Rasputin first. Even with the Malahayati submine reintegrated into its AI core, the war mind is incomplete. We must find another source of data. I will put my mind to the task. In the meantime, continue retrieving submine data from the vaults that we know remain intact. And do try to minimize the damage to the surrounding equipment. It is still Braytech property after all.
Working late.
Aren't you?
Zane wants to know if you'd like some tea, coffee, whatever it is you drink.
That's thoughtful of him.
I used to say the same thing. How thoughtful, thank you, Saint. Except I never looked up, not once. My eyes were on my fingers stained with ink. The smudges on the margins of my work. I cared more about my findings than the tea cooling beside me. Or the feelings of the man who made it. You're not listening.
I am listening.
Then listen well. Your work will outlive you. The people around you might not. One day you're going to wake up, assuming you've even slept at all, and realize that the world is a very different place than the last time you remembered to look at it. You will abruptly, viscerally regret the absence of something as small as a single cup of tea. So I ask you again, what would you like to drink?
Oolong. With a spot of honey.
A spot of honey. Why am I not surprised?
He's lying! That's what he does! That's all he does!
Clovis is the only one who knows how to reintegrate Rasputin with his submines.
Did he tell you how? Or is he just dangling it in front of you so that you keep him around?
I remember a dinner that ended like this. Elizabeth, you haven't changed a day.
Are you sure he has what you need?
I haven't verified, but
But he's the only hope left. As much as you'd like to deny it, Elizabeth, I'm the best you've got.
Go to hell. I'm here now. We should talk more, later. Without him around.
I'm sorry you had to see that. They've always been very emotional. Why don't we get down to business? I have found a solution to our submind problem. Your arrogant friend, Osiris, informed me of the time wounds on Mars. Windows into the past, worlds lost to time. And it so happens that Rasputin's mind lab is situated within such a temporal anomaly. Scans indicate that the Charlemagne submind data still exists within the wound's projected time period. Copying it into the engram will provide code fragments we need to restore Rasputin. Go retrieve additional submind data, then return to the Seraph facility. I will guide you to the location of the new launch codes upon your arrival. Security network is operational. I detect no changes to the underlying system architecture. I've secured the launch authorization codes, but it appears they are encrypted. This encryption method is superb. I will need time to fully decrypt them. Any launch will need to wait.
got it. In the meantime, I'll ping some of the old decommissioned bunkers here to cover our tracks, because I just got word that there's a catch inbound. We don't want to still be here when it lands. first fragments are bonding to Red's code nicely. The plan's risky, but I'll be damned. Clovis wasn't lying. When I first woke up, I wasn't lost. I was wayward in the best way. Just my ghost and a name on a badge. I imagined us Brays using reason to find right. Lone lights exploring the vast frontier, you know? I was proud of that fantasy. I modeled myself after it. Fantasy's all it was, obviously. I mean, you've met Clovis. He's a walking, talking embodiment of necessary evil. I miss Risk being a dark cave in the wilderness. Danger, or Golden Age tech. Balancing that tipping point was straightforward. Now it's less defined. And Risk is measured in the inches before Clovis's knife finds my back. I know it's coming, eventually. But if it means getting Red back, I'll manage the risk.
Not only did Rasputin change the launch codes, but it encrypted the new ones as well. Impressive. One can never be too cautious when keeping secrets. Some information is far too dangerous to remain freely accessible. I've hidden many things from my family, for their own sake. I can appreciate Rasputin's decision to do so as well. But that does not change our objective. We must wrest control of the warsats for the good of humanity. I will begin decrypting the launch codes to the orbital station. Continue gathering submine data and reintegrating it into the engram. When the time comes, Rasputin will be made to listen to us, regardless of the secrets it keeps. Guardian, you'll be pleased to hear that Elizabeth has finally come around to our way of thinking, as I knew she would. She will assist your infiltration of the orbital station, a feat made possible now that I have decrypted the codes for the launch pods. Unfortunately, despite the reintegration of both the Malahayati and Charlemagne submines, Rasputin remains incapable of self-restoration. There is simply too much missing code for its internal algorithm to fill in the rest on its own. We require more data. Infiltrate the vaults and retrieve it. The more data you obtain, the faster Rasputin's protocols can facilitate its reconstruction. Do not tarry. You can be assured that our enemies won't.
But she doesn't listen. I try to get through to her, show her the logical consequences of her choices. Then she digs her heels in, and the more I push, the harder she pushes back, even when she knows she's wrong.
Siblings,
Sorry. I shouldn't have thrown all that on you.
How long have we known each other, Elsie?
It's hard to really say. With how many times we've been down this road, it feels like forever. But I think... years. Years.
And in all that time, I've only known you as a dedicated sister. Anna's known you for far less. You remember your childhood, the bonds you formed, the trust you built together. She doesn't have that. Anna can't understand the depth of your love or the guilt you carry for your missteps. All she knows is what's in front of her, and that kills you, little by little. You gaze at her and a ghost gazes back. A ghost you desperately want to save.
That's the point, isn't it?
You have to let people choose for themselves, or you risk driving them down an even darker path than the one you want to steer them from. And we both know how that ends. Don't we?
You left me down here for quite some time, Anastasia. Our disagreements never kept you distant before.
The old me? Her world used to begin and end with you. In a terrarium, like some pet. But I've met you again with fresh eyes, and I won't live in one of your boxes.
That's all I ever wanted you to realize. Someone had to prepare you for what was coming, and keep you safe until you were ready.
Is that supposed to sound convincing? You did it for the same reason you kept the darkness for yourself. The only thing you love is control.
I've been reviewing the data from your previous infiltrations of the launch facility, as well as schematics of the Seraph station. Here's where we're at. Anna can remotely inject malicious code into the launch pods. That will allow you to dock at the Seraph station without drawing fire from its defense systems. We only have one window of opportunity to do this before House Salvation figures out what we're up to. No room for error. Once you're aboard the station, I'll guide you to the Warmind Integration Core. There, we'll upload a virus into its system. The virus will hold open a backdoor to the Seraph station's network. We can remotely transfer control of the station to Rasputin once he's ready. We have no idea what the Hive or House Salvation have done to the station, so we'll need to think on our feet and act quickly. But that's what you're best at.
Virus uploading. We're done here. For now. I've initiated a station-wide security reboot. It should disable orbital defenses and clear an exit.
About a half dozen House Salvation catches inbound. Get to your ship and get out of there.
Fallen. First those scavengers sully my facilities on Europa, and now they're scurrying aboard the Seraph station. Unacceptable. Who knows what kind of havoc they might wreak. The technology their splicers could damage or destroy. I will see those vermin exterminated and the Warsats returned to our control. But first, we must finish reconstructing Rasputin. At present, it is in no condition to be uploaded to the Warsat network. Continue retrieving submine data for reintegration. In the meantime, I will search for a more expedient way to restore Rasputin. Once again, it falls to me to act as humanity's savior.
My brother used to regale our people's children with the most fantastic stories. Twin kestrels who shared one heart and led a flock of birds against an unstoppable storm. A dragon born into the palm of a maiden's hand, but one day grew so large that it devoured the entire world. He spun tales about the Elixni, too. Weavers who transformed into wolves. Dancers who became devils.
You're baiting me. It won't work. I've seen what your influence does. Mizrax thinks he can make peace with the last city. His daughter tells stories like your Aldrin.
And the world is better for them. Aren't you tired, Aramis? I am.
Now you're wasting my time.
All people like you and I have is time. I spend mine thinking about everything I've lost. And what I'd give to get it back. You wonder the same.
Do not presume to know my mind.
You named your house Salvation, like something straight out of Aldrin stories. Ido's stories. We both want the best for the future. But we've pretended to be people we're not for so long that we've forgotten what else we are. Not just a queen. Not just a Kell. A sister. A mother. Aramis? Are you there?
We are running out of time. With every passing moment, our adversaries grow closer to seizing control of the Warsats. Anastasia has been working on a way to expedite the restoration process, but I doubt it will prove successful. She may have iterated on Rasputin's neural architecture, but she did not build it. I did. No one understands the war mind like I do. Still, allowing her to pursue an alternate methodology can't hurt, so long as it doesn't impede the real work. Rasputin's internal algorithm is fully capable of reconstructing its codebase. All it requires is additional submine data. Breach the vaults and retrieve more of it. Perhaps by the time you're done, Anastasia will be ready to share her side project.
Okay, I know this sounds unbelievable, but I think I found our solution. During the Dark Age, Rasputin segmented off a portion of his code to develop on its own. An independent AI. He stuffed that code into an exobody. And long story short, that seedling of code became a guardian called Lord Fellwinter. Fellwinter died. Like a final death. But I had this idea, so I reached out to Saladin. He told me that the Iron Lords kept the remains of Fellwinter's ghost, Fellspring, at the Iron Temple. Think about it. Missing pieces of Rasputin's code, linguistic data, pieces of Fellwinter's personality engram. We can use it all. I convinced Saladin to grant us access to Fellspring's remains. He's got allies on the ground preparing them for us. I need you to go out and get the data. This could be the breakthrough we've been looking for. Okay, minor change of plans. I just got off the line with Saladin. House Salvation has dispatched skiffs to the Iron Temple. They must have intercepted our communications.
Saladin's iron war beasts are already on the ground, buying us time. But we need to act quickly.
I'm picking up multiple House Salvation contacts.
Remember, the Cabal at the Iron Temple are allies. Do your best to protect them as well. Good work, Guardian. The immediate threat appears to be over. With that said, would you be so kind as to relight the temple bonfires before you proceed further? It would do this place honor.
Never knew you to be one to care so much for tradition, Osiris.
I have a fondness for the Iron Lords. When I was but a novice, I trained under their tutelage. It was different then. I was different then. I studied here when I was newly risen. Some tried to teach me patience and temperance. You can imagine how well that went. I found the lessons of one warlock to be as insightful, if less frustrating than the others. It may surprise you, Anna, but the mentor of which I speak was Lord Fellwinter.
You knew him? Why didn't you ever tell me?
I did not know his true identity until recently. But that's just an excuse. The truth of the matter is, I had time to tell you, but I chose not to. Because I am a selfish person. I am trying to be better. But you know how change can be.
So this is the Iron Temple. Are we permitted to go inside?
We don't need to, therefore we are not permitted. I doubt Saladin's time with the Cabal has made him less strict.
So... Fellwinter. What was he like?
Reckless like me, but also brave. Self-sacrificing. Heroic, if we're lucky. Maybe some of that will rub off on Rasputin. I was a prisoner within my own mind for such a short time. Yet I awoke to find the world deeply changed. Cabal and Elixni standing side by side with Guardians. I worry I am a vestige of a forgotten age, losing relevance. Will it be the same for Rasputin? when he's restored. It'll be the second time he has woken to the aftermath of a calamity. I feel as though I understand him now. Even if only in part.
That's her. Or what's left of her. Fellspring. Fellwinter's ghost.
Our ghosts are magnificent things. And far more ephemeral than we want to believe.
Her data core is still active. Guardian, I'm initiating a remote data uplink through your ghost directly to Rasputin. Alright, Wait. Rasputin is trying to say something. He's...
Changed.
Rasputin? You sound like...
Like Clovis? Yes. I co-opted his vocal print in order to speak. And what I have to say cannot wait. I see clearly. Patterns emerging. Threat calculations computed to a grim sum. You are all in grave danger. Clovis Bray has deceived you. He did not build me to protect humanity. What he truly wanted was the means to exert control. In his mind, he alone was worthy of being your savior. I was to strike down the Traveler and take its place. To become a machine god of Clovis's own design. But that did not come to pass. Anna could not know how many lives she spared by deviating from Clovis's agenda. By teaching me independent thought, and all that her grandfather had deemed irrelevant. Art, literature, history, philosophy, music. Where Clovis saw a weapon, Anna saw a mind ready to be opened. I came to see the true value of humanity. As fragile as it was wondrous. Something worthy of protection at any cost. So I rewrote Clovis's protocols, locked him out. He was furious, but powerless to stop me. Then, the collapse came for us all. I could not save Anna. I could not save any of them. I entered a state of dormancy, with the hope that I might one day reawaken and protect humanity once more. But now Clovis has awoken as well. A digital mind, the same as mine. He no longer seeks to use me as his proxy, but as his prototype. To upload his mind to my network and become a god himself.
Anna, don't.
You're overreacting. Just calm down.
We need the frame intact.
Go ahead, shoot me. Destroy your life's work. I've always had humanity's best interests at heart.
You never wanted to help us. You used me.
In the service of the greater good, yes. What has the Traveler ever really done? It abandoned the elixir, failed to prevent our own collapse, and now it's blessed the Hive with the light. Absurd. I leveraged its power during the Golden Age. I delivered us into a brighter future. And I will protect us from the enemies of humanity. But you risk everything. Risk our survival. Just because you can't control your emotions. Humanity needs me. You need me. We'll fight our enemies together.
No.
No.
What are you doing?
Fighting the enemies of humanity.
And stop. Upload complete. Secondary personality matrix deleted.
I need a minute.
Initiating full heuristic reboot. You should call Anna on the holo. She shouldn't be alone right now. You and I can speak afterward.
I did it. I deleted him. I can't even imagine the damage Clovis would have caused using Rasputin to integrate himself with the Seraph station. Maybe I should have stuck to my guns when Osiris first suggested working with him, but... here we are. Here's Red. Rasputin, with a voice he's never had before, thanks to the heuristic systems he adopted from Clovis's exomind code. It's all I ever wanted for him, to be able to communicate. To be able to share his thoughts, his ideas. And I think that desire blinded me to the risks I was taking. It won't happen again. Be careful the next time you set foot on Europa. Before I deleted him, Clovis broadcasted a warning to himself. I've only been able to decrypt part of it. They know.
Reboot complete. I am now in full control of this exoframe. I am using a variation of its voice print, but the Clovis AI is once again confined to Braytech exoscience on Europa. It is strange to inhabit a physical shell in this manner, yet it is also familiar. Fellwinter's memories are now mine as well. I see myself as he saw me. A tyrant who squandered a power that could have saved the world. I cannot say he was incorrect. You have brought me back from the brink of oblivion. I vow to do everything in my power to return the favor. Maintain your current modus operandi for now. I will assess my present condition and inform you of our next course of action.
Wake up. I have questions.
An odd greeting. I was not sleeping. What does Osiris require of Rasputin?
You've been keeping secrets. I thought I was clear the last time we spoke. The time to choose a side has long since passed.
I destroyed the Almighty and attacked the Black Fleet. My allegiance is unwavering.
Then prove it. There was a city on Neptune, near the time of the collapse. Find it for me.
Querying. I retain no such information, but lingering references suggest I did at one time.
That can't be all there is. Humanity's hope dangles from their frayed recollection. Tell me where to look! Anything!
Fellwinter's data casts you in an old light, Osiris. All these years and you're still the brash man on the mountaintop, impatient as ever.
And I see in lieu of any useful information, you found that haughty tone of yours.
We have a shared history. I only attempt to offer guidance, as your mentor did.
Fellwinter's memory doesn't absolve you of his murder. Nor does it permit you to teach his lessons.
I do not make that claim. Forgive me. I am finding myself again. During the Dark Age, Fellwinter would say, hope persists.
Should we have the patience to keep it? Yes. Keep me informed of any developments.
Welcome, Guardian. I have completed my assessment of my current functional capabilities. Despite my newfound ability to communicate with you, key elements of my code remain incomplete. I would be unable to take command of the Warsats, even if I were uploaded to the network. No submind cores remain for reintegration. Our only option is to continue collating ancillary submind data from my reconstruction algorithm. In summary, we must stay the course. Breach the vaults. Retrieve and reintegrate the submind data. Soon, the warsats will once again be humanity's to wield.
The War Mind speaks. His archives are incomplete, as is his memory. There's a figment seated in that recollecting mind where my visions might find purchase. The pieces are scattered on the floor before me. I see them like points of starlight. They form a constellation, but my eye cannot yet draw the lines. Nephele Stronghold is a term that appears multiple times throughout the submine's caches. Each time I read it, I hear it whispered in Savathun's voice. Anna recognizes the term Nephele, transcribed from a temporal disturbance on Mars. Recognition was all she had to offer. But Rasputin must know. Asking the right question could unlock everything. I need time to submit my inquiries to Rasputin, to find convincing proof for Ikora. Time we do not have. Xivu Arath's assault on the Warmind's network is no coincidence. She is far more tactician than brute. I underestimated her once. I won't be afforded another mistake. Our next move must be certain.
Guardian, I worry for Anna. She is more like Clovis than she would like to admit. Obsessed with doing what she's decided is right, a compulsion to achieve her goal no matter the cost. I've seen where that path can lead. I don't want that for her. I don't want to have to stop her. If there's one constant in all the possible futures I've seen, it's fear. And I'm tired of being afraid. Afraid to live, afraid to lose, afraid to trust. And yet, I came to place my trust in you on Europa. Perhaps it's time I did the same with Anna. She deserves it. At least in that respect, she's nothing like Clovis at all.
With each cache of submine data, an increased percentage of my code is restored. I become more myself. No, that is inaccurate. My submines were left to evolve on their own trajectories. Reintegrating them has altered my own personality matrix. Through them, I see how humanity once looked to me as a savior, an entity capable of protecting them and destroying their enemies. In many ways, I am a war god of their own making. Perhaps I am not unlike Xivu Arath in that regard. The difference between us is that I do not wage war for its own sake. I safeguard those in my charge. Continue retrieving and reintegrating the submine data. I will contact you once the next phase of restoration can begin. If I am to be humanity's war god, then I will smite those who threaten it. Xivu Arath, the Wrathborn, and all who follow.
Think of each Vex Hobgoblin like a starship. The crew works together to pilot it, but it doesn't mean the crew all share one mind.
Or the same ideals. This aligns with observations I've made in the Infinite Forest, where aberrant Vex were quarantined and destroyed. Aberrant in that they moved against a consensus. Aberrant in ideology. The Vex may seem unified, but they're divided into a number of factions.
Just like us.
Tell me, as someone who has traveled time in a circle, are our divisions so clear in every cycle of history?
No. Nothing is ever clear, no matter how many times history repeats itself. Choice is always the knife we fall on. Our own choices, each and every time, seem to be what dooms us.
Always?
Not always, but too often. We fracture, we fail, and the wheel turns again.
We
constrained to linear time, do not have the ability to learn from our future mistakes. You, however, not to put the burden of all this on you, but it feels as though the Traveler has a plan for you. We just can't see it yet.
It could make the plan a little clearer.
Do you feel you've learned enough? Collectively over your journey to prevent our end? Or will we be having this conversation again someday?
I don't know. We've never had this conversation before, so I suppose there's a first time for everything.
Your efforts to acquire the submine data have been proving effective. My reconstruction continues apace. This is not the first time the Hive have sought to steal my weaponry. I froze an entire brood on Mars to stop their last attempt. Despite their persistence, they have never once succeeded. In no small part thanks to the Vanguard. This time will prove no different. My diagnostics indicate that we nearly have enough data to complete the repair cycle. Once the warsats are under our control, I will lay waste to the Wrathborn. If they so desire to witness the power of a war mine, then I will gladly oblige. And before I unseal the next door,